Imagine a young woman named Maria, sitting on her bed late at night, tears streaming down her face. She clutches her phone, staring blankly at a message she wrote but never sent. Just earlier that day, she faced a difficult choice: to stay in a job that drained her spirit or to take a leap of faith into the unknown. Fear gripped her heart as she replayed every conversation, every doubt, and every worry in her mind. Around her, the world continued moving forward. Friends were busy with their lives, families were caught up in their own struggles, and here she was, feeling utterly alone. Maria wanted to reach out for help, to ask for advice or just someone to listen to her fears. But the thought of burdening others made her hesitate. What if they think I'm weak, she wondered. She felt trapped between her longing for support and her fear of vulnerability. In that moment of despair, Maria's thoughts drifted to a phrase she had learned in church: "Ask and it shall be given to you." Those words echoed in her mind like a gentle whisper. She remembered Jesus speaking to his followers about the importance of asking for what they needed. It was as if a light flickered on in the darkness around her. Maybe it was okay to ask for help. Maybe vulnerability was not a weakness but a strength. With shaky hands, Maria finally reached out to her closest friend, sharing her worries and dreams. To her surprise, her friend responded with kindness and understanding. "You're not alone in this," she said softly. "We all struggle, and I'm here for you." Those simple words gave Maria a sense of relief she hadn't anticipated. It was a reminder that sometimes, we need to lean on others and seek guidance when life gets tough. This story of Maria is one we can all relate to in some way. We each face moments when decisions weigh heavily on our hearts. In those times, Jesus' message resonates deeply: asking for support is not only acceptable but essential for our growth. It encourages us to open ourselves up to the possibility of connection and healing. As we reflect on Maria's journey, let's consider our own lives. Are there moments where we hold back from asking for help? Do we let fear stop us from reaching out? Jesus taught us that asking opens the door to receiving, whether that be clarity in our decisions or comfort in our struggles. The next time you find yourself at a crossroads, remember Maria's story and know that it's okay to ask. You might just find the support you need waiting on the other side. As Maria navigated her feelings of doubt and loneliness, the words, "Ask and it shall be given to you," lingered in her heart. Jesus spoke these words during the Sermon on the Mount, a time when he shared profound truths with his followers. His message was not just about asking for material things, it was about seeking a deeper relationship with God and the support we all need as we journey through life. Imagine being part of that crowd listening to Jesus, standing on a hillside under the warm sun. Picture him looking out at the faces filled with uncertainty, fear, and hope. He reassured them that asking for help is an integral part of faith. This wasn't just a command, it was an invitation, a gentle encouragement to open our hearts and minds to divine support. In a world that often encourages self-reliance, Jesus' message stands out like a beacon of light. Asking implies humility. It shows that we acknowledge our limitations and that we are not alone in our struggles. When we admit we need help, we create space for connection, not only with others but also with God. Think about it: have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges? Maybe you faced exams at school or dealt with tough friendships, moments when you wished for guidance or strength. In those times, Jesus invites us to approach God with our concerns and desires. This act of reaching out is powerful because it opens the door to healing and understanding. The significance of Jesus' words extends beyond simply receiving what we ask for; they remind us of our human need for guidance, love, and support. Whether it's wisdom regarding a decision like Maria's or comfort during difficult times, God desires to provide for us. However, like any good relationship, it requires us to express our needs. Furthermore, asking is also about discovering what truly matters to us at our core. Sometimes, when we vocalize our wants and fears, we uncover deeper truths about ourselves. Maybe Maria realized she didn't just want a new job, she longed for passion, fulfillment, and joy in her work, the very essence of what makes life worthwhile. As we reflect on Jesus' teaching today, let's remember that vulnerability is a pathway to strength rather than a sign of weakness. It's okay to ask, whether from God or each other, for support in times of struggle or uncertainty. These actions may lead us toward the answers we seek and strengthen our bonds within our communities. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge or feeling lost, remember Maria's journey and the timeless truth of Jesus' words, "Ask and it shall be given to you." Take that first step towards opening your heart, not just to the world around you but also to the hope that lies within faith. To truly understand the power of Jesus' words, it's essential to explore their context in the Bible. The phrase, "Ask and it shall be given to you," comes from the book of Matthew, specifically Matthew 7 verses 7 to 8. It is part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, a collection of teachings that outline his vision for how we should live and interact with one another. Imagine being there, surrounded by crowds of people eager for wisdom. Jesus spoke in a way that was relatable and directly addressed the struggles faced by ordinary individuals. In this particular section of his sermon, he emphasized the principle of asking, seeking, and knocking, as though these actions were a way to engage with God rather than merely seeking physical gifts. When Jesus instructed his followers to ask, he wasn't just encouraging them to request material things, he was inviting them into a deeper relationship with God through honest communication. Think about it, how often do we hold back our true thoughts and feelings? We might think our worries are too small or that God has bigger issues to address. Yet, Jesus reassures us that every question matters. During his sermon, he illustrated this truth by painting a vivid picture. He asked, "Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone?" This rhetorical question highlights the nature of God as a loving parent who desires to care for us. Just as any good parent finds joy in fulfilling their child's needs, so too does God long to respond to our requests with love and grace. Jesus continued with another powerful promise, "For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks, the door will be opened." This assurance encourages all of us, no matter our circumstances, to trust in divine provision when we put ourselves out there and express our needs. In essence, these verses remind us that asking is part of cultivating faith. When we choose to open our hearts and speak up about what we need, whether it's guidance during difficult times or comfort during moments of grief, we invite God's presence into our lives. Even more importantly, Jesus wanted his disciples to understand that this act isn't just about receiving, it also strengthens our bond with God. As we reflect on these biblical teachings today, let's remember their beautiful invitation to come forth with our concerns and questions. Like Maria learned when she reached out for help from her friend, asking is not a sign of weakness but an important step towards healing and connection. So the next time you feel burdened or lost at sea in life's challenges, think back to Matthew 7 verses 7 to 8. Embrace the promise that when you ask sincerely from your heart, not only does God hear you, but he also desires to respond with love and understanding. Opening that door can lead you to discoveries you never imagined possible. As we explore the theme of asking for help, let's look at some powerful examples from the Bible that illustrate how this act is intertwined with faith. The stories of individuals who reached out in their moments of need can inspire us to do the same. One such story is that of a blind man named Bartimaeus, found in Mark 10 verses 46 to 52. Bartimaeus was sitting by the roadside, begging as Jesus and his disciples were leaving Jericho. As soon as he heard that Jesus was passing by, he began to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." Despite the crowd trying to silence him, Bartimaeus cried out even louder. His determination to ask for help was profound. He knew that Jesus had the power to heal him, and he refused to let anything stand in his way. When Jesus heard him, he stopped and called Bartimaeus over. Imagine the moment, a crowd filled with disbelief and skepticism suddenly quieted as Bartimaeus approached Jesus with hope and desperation. Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" To which Bartimaeus replied, "Rabbi, I want to see." In that instant, his faith and willingness to ask led to his healing. Jesus responded with love, "Go, your faith has healed you." Bartimaeus didn't just receive physical sight, he gained a new life by boldly asking for what he needed. Another example comes from the disciples themselves. In Luke 11 verses 1 to 4, they approached Jesus after witnessing his powerful prayers. They asked him directly, "Lord, teach us to pray." This humble request demonstrates their desire for deeper understanding and connection with God. Rather than pretending they had all the answers, they acknowledged their need for guidance and invited Jesus to lead them in prayer. Jesus responded by teaching them what we now know as the Lord's Prayer, a beautiful model that highlights our dependence on God for daily needs and forgiveness. Through their asking, the disciples not only learned about prayer but also deepened their relationship with Jesus. These examples remind us that asking for help is essential in our spiritual journeys. Just like Bartimaeus and the disciples found strength in reaching out, we too can find courage when we express our needs, whether through prayer or by seeking support from others. As we reflect on these stories today, it's clear that asking isn't a sign of weakness but rather an important aspect of faith. It opens doors not only for personal healing but also fosters connections within our communities. We are reminded that God is always ready to respond with kindness and love when we genuinely seek His guidance. So, as you face your own challenges, much like Maria did, remember the lessons from Bartimaeus and the disciples. Let their courage inspire you to ask for help when you need it most. Embrace the promise that your voice matters and that God hears your cries for assistance. By doing so, you invite His presence into your life and take a step toward healing and growth. As we continue to explore the theme of asking, let's delve into the true power that comes from reaching out for help. When we think about the act of asking, it's not just about receiving assistance, it's a profound step toward building connections and fostering genuine relationships. Consider Maria, who once felt isolated in her struggles. When she finally mustered the courage to ask her friend for support, something beautiful happened. Not only did she find comfort and guidance, but she also strengthened her bond with that friend. In that moment of vulnerability, Maria opened a door to deeper connection, one that allowed her to share her fears and dreams without judgment. This is the beauty of asking, it invites others in and creates a space for understanding. In our lives, asking for help can often feel daunting. We may worry about being seen as weak or burdensome. Yet, when we choose to ask, we are demonstrating trust, not just in others but in the divine plan at work in our lives. By expressing our needs, we acknowledge our humanity and allow others to show their kindness and support. Think back to Bartimaeus, the blind man who boldly cried out to Jesus. His request was not just about physical healing, it was also about his desire for connection. He sought recognition and compassion from Jesus amid a crowd that tried to silence him. By asking for mercy, he not only received his sight but also revealed his faith and trust in Jesus' power to help him. This act of asking becomes a catalyst for growth, not only spiritually but also relationally. When we reach out, we invite others to step into our lives and share in our journeys. This can lead to shared experiences, empathy, and even friendship. It allows us to see that we are not alone in our struggles, rather, we are part of a community where everyone has their own battles to face. Moreover, asking empowers us to confront our vulnerabilities head-on. It is an opportunity to reflect on what truly matters to us and what we need to grow and thrive. When we articulate our desires, whether for guidance, love, or support, we begin a process of self-discovery. In this way, asking becomes an essential part of our spiritual journey. As we embrace the power of asking, let's remember that it is a vital tool for personal growth and connection with others. Each time we reach out, be it through prayer or conversation, we deepen our relationships and open ourselves up to healing. So, as you move through your day-to-day life, take a moment to reflect on what you might need. Don't hesitate to ask, whether it's a friend, family member, or even God Himself, there is strength in vulnerability. Remember Maria's journey and Bartimaeus' boldness. By embracing the power of asking, you invite love, understanding, and support into your life, creating a tapestry of connections that enrich your soul and guide your path forward. As we continue our journey exploring the power of asking, it's essential to address some common fears that hold many of us back from reaching out for help. Despite knowing that asking can lead to growth and connection, feelings of unworthiness and shame often creep in, making us hesitant to express our needs. Imagine Maria once again as she faces her difficult decision. Although she found the courage to talk to her friend, a part of her still felt afraid that her struggles were too trivial or that she should be able to handle everything on her own. This internal dialogue is something many of us can relate to. We might think, why should I ask for help? Others have it worse than I do. This fear can stem from a deep-rooted belief that we are not deserving of support or love. However, it's crucial to remember that every person has their battles, and acknowledging our own struggles is not a weakness, it is a sign of strength. When we open up about how we feel, we invite compassion and understanding into our lives. Let's take a moment to reflect on the story of the prodigal son, found in Luke 15 verses 11 to 32. This parable illustrates the journey of a young man who squanders his inheritance and finds himself in dire need. When he finally decides to return home and ask his father for forgiveness, he is met with unconditional love and acceptance. Instead of shame or anger, his father runs to him with open arms. This beautiful image reminds us that no matter what mistakes we think we've made or how unworthy we may feel, love awaits us when we reach out. Overcoming the fear of asking for help requires faith and trust in God's plan. It means believing that you are worthy of support and understanding from both God and those around you. When you choose to take that step forward, whether through prayer or by confiding in someone close, you demonstrate an incredible act of faith. Remember Bartimaeus? His boldness in crying out for Jesus' mercy was rooted in his belief that he deserved healing and recognition. His faith empowered him to push through the crowd's judgmental stares and societal expectations. In doing so, he not only found physical sight but also reclaimed his dignity as a beloved child of God. As you reflect on these stories today, let them inspire you to confront your fears about asking for help. Understand that vulnerability can lead to strength, healing, and authentic connections with others. Each time you reach out instead of holding back, you affirm your worthiness to be heard and supported. So, when those feelings of unworthiness or shame arise within you, pause for a moment and remind yourself that you are deserving of love and assistance. Just as Maria learned through her friend's support, and just like Bartimaeus experienced through Jesus' response, asking opens doors not only for personal growth but also nurtures deeper relationships with those around us. Take heart. The next time you find yourself struggling or feeling alone, remember that it's okay to ask for help. You are never alone on this journey. God is always with you, ready to respond with open arms when you step forward in faith. As we reflect on the power of asking, it's important to take a moment and turn our focus inward. This journey isn't just about other people, it's about you and your own life. Let's pause and consider where in your life you might need to ask for help. Perhaps you're facing emotional struggles. Many of us carry heavy burdens, feelings of sadness, anxiety, or loneliness that can weigh us down. When was the last time you reached out to someone for support? Think about who in your life could be there for you. It might be a family member, a friend, or even a counselor. By sharing how you feel, you not only lighten your load but also strengthen those connections. Guidance is another area where many of us find ourselves hesitating to ask. Maybe you're at a crossroads in your career or personal life, unsure about which direction to take. In moments like these, seeking the wisdom of others can be incredibly valuable. Consider reaching out to someone whose opinion you respect, a mentor or a trusted friend, and ask for their perspective. You'll likely find that they are more than willing to support you in your journey. Forgiveness is another significant aspect of our lives where asking can bring healing. Perhaps there's someone you need to apologize to, or maybe it's yourself that needs forgiveness for past mistakes. This process can be challenging, yet it is essential for moving forward. A sincere apology can mend broken relationships and bring peace to your heart. Remember that reaching out can be an important step toward reconciliation, not just with others but also within yourself. Think back to Maria. She learned the value of sharing her worries with her friend and how that openness paved the way for her healing. By reflecting on her experiences, we realize the importance of recognizing our own needs and bravely expressing them. Now, I invite you to take a moment for quiet reflection. Close your eyes and think about areas in your life where you may be holding back due to fear or doubt. What do you truly need right now? Is it emotional support from someone who cares? Is it guidance as you navigate through uncertainty? Or perhaps it's forgiveness that weighs heavily on your heart. Allow yourself the grace to acknowledge these needs without judgment. It's okay not to have all the answers or feel strong all the time. Remember that vulnerability opens doors, it allows love, understanding, and connection to flow into your life. As you ponder these questions, consider this: when Jesus said, "Ask and it shall be given to you," he wasn't merely inviting us to request things for ourselves, he was encouraging us to seek genuine relationships with him and each other through honest communication. So, as you move through this week, remember that it's perfectly okay to ask for help when needed. Whether through prayer or conversation with loved ones, reach out and express what is on your heart. Embrace the strength that comes from vulnerability, knowing that every step toward openness brings healing and connection closer than ever before. You are worthy of support and love. Take that leap today. As we reflect on the powerful message of asking, it's important to think about practical steps you can take to incorporate this teaching into your daily life. These steps will not only help you embrace vulnerability but also strengthen your connections with God and those around you. First, begin with prayer. Set aside a moment each day to quietly speak to God about what's on your heart. You might say, "God, I need guidance on my job," or "Please help me find the courage to reach out." This simple act of prayer can be transformative. By inviting God into your struggles, you acknowledge that you're not alone and that He is listening. Remember, Jesus encouraged us to ask for what we need. Next, consider writing down your thoughts and feelings. Journaling can be a powerful tool that allows you to articulate your needs clearly. It provides a space for reflection and helps you identify areas where you may need help, whether it's emotional support or guidance in decision-making. Once you have a clearer understanding of what you're experiencing, it becomes easier to communicate those feelings to others. Reaching out to someone you trust is another essential step. Identify a friend, family member, or mentor who embodies kindness and understanding. When you feel ready, share your thoughts with them. You might say, "I've been feeling overwhelmed lately, and I would appreciate your perspective." Opening up fosters connection and can lead to valuable insights or simply the comfort of knowing that someone cares. If reaching out in person feels daunting, consider sending a message or making a phone call. Sometimes, just the act of asking for help through text can ease our fears and make it feel less intimidating. Remember Bartimaeus, he didn't let the crowd silence his cries, he called out even louder. Be bold in your requests, trust that those who care about you want to support you. In addition to seeking support from others, don't forget the importance of self-forgiveness. If you've made mistakes in the past or feel stuck in guilt, take time to reflect on what forgiving yourself looks like. Perhaps write a letter to yourself expressing compassion and understanding for your situation. This practice can open the door to healing and allow you to move forward without carrying those burdens. Finally, remember that taking small steps is still progress. Each time you reach out or express what you need, you are practicing the principles that Jesus taught us. It's vital to embrace these moments as opportunities for growth, not just for yourself, but also as a way to strengthen your relationship with God and others. As you navigate through life's challenges, keep this thought close: asking isn't just about receiving, it's about creating bonds built on trust and love. Whether it's through prayer, writing, reaching out for support, or forgiving yourself, allow these practical steps to guide you toward deeper connections and personal growth. You are worthy of support and love, so take that leap today. As we continue to explore the transformative power of asking, I want to share an emotional story that illustrates how embracing this message can lead to significant change in one's life. This is the story of David, a man who had spent years wrestling with his inner demons, feeling lost in a world that seemed to move forward without him. David was a talented artist, known for his vivid imagination and creativity. But when life's burdens weighed heavily on him, he fell into a deep depression. He felt isolated and ashamed, believing that asking for help would make him appear weak. He thought, "What will people think of me? I should be able to handle this on my own." Paralyzed by these fears, he shut himself away from friends and family, convinced that no one would understand his struggles. One cold winter evening, while scrolling through social media, David stumbled upon a video of someone talking about the teachings of Jesus, specifically the words, "Ask and it shall be given to you." At first, he scrolled past it, but something compelled him to stop and listen. As he heard the message unfold, David felt a flicker of hope. It dawned on him that vulnerability was not a sign of weakness, it was an invitation for connection. That night, unable to sleep and filled with anxiety about his future, David decided to take a leap of faith. He reached out for help in a way he had never done before. With trembling hands, he sent a message to an old friend he hadn't spoken to in years. The text was simple: "Hey, I've been going through a really tough time lately. Can we talk?" To his surprise, his friend responded almost immediately and expressed genuine concern. They set up a time to meet the next day. As they talked over coffee in their favorite cafe, David began to open up about his struggles, the fear that gripped him and the loneliness he felt each day. He poured out his heart while tears fell freely down his cheeks. What happened next was nothing short of transformative. Instead of judgment or pity, David found compassion and understanding in his friend's response. They shared stories about their own challenges and how they had navigated tough times in their lives. The conversation blossomed into laughter and tears as they reminisced about good memories together. In that moment of sharing vulnerability with another human being, David experienced an incredible sense of relief, a weight lifted off his shoulders. For the first time in many years, he felt seen and heard. From that day forward, David embraced asking as part of his healing journey. He began attending support groups where he could express himself more openly and connect with others facing similar struggles. Slowly but surely, he rediscovered his passion for art as well, and even began hosting small exhibitions showcasing both his work and the stories behind them. David's story reminds us that asking is not only about seeking support but also creating meaningful connections along the way. When we dare to ask, whether it's for emotional help or sharing our burdens, we open ourselves up to growth and healing. As you reflect on this story today, think about what you might need in your life right now. Whether it's support from others or guidance during tough times, remember that Jesus' teaching is still relevant today. Ask and it shall be given to you. Embrace this principle in your heart. You never know what wonderful transformations are waiting just beyond your call for help. As we conclude our exploration of the powerful message found in Jesus' words, ask and it shall be given to you, it's essential to remember that this saying is not just a promise but a heartfelt invitation. An invitation to deepen our faith, embrace vulnerability, and connect more meaningfully with others around us. Throughout this journey, we've seen how asking for help can transform lives, from Maria's courage to reach out to her friend, to David's journey of healing through connection. Each story highlights an important truth: we are not meant to walk this path alone. Life can be overwhelming, but when we take the step to ask for support, we open ourselves up to love, understanding, and community. Jesus spoke these words during a time when he was teaching his followers about the nature of God's love, an unconditional love that invites us to express our needs without fear or shame. It reminds us that vulnerability is not a weakness, rather, it is a brave act of faith that can lead to profound connections with God and with one another. So often, we find ourselves caught in the grip of fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or even fear of appearing weak. But what if we chose to shift our perspective? What if we viewed asking as an opportunity instead? An opportunity for growth, healing, and creating bonds that enrich our lives. I encourage each of you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. Are there areas where you might need support? Perhaps you're facing a decision at work that feels too heavy to bear alone. Or maybe there are emotional struggles you've been keeping bottled up inside. Remember that reaching out for help can be the first step toward healing. This week, I invite you to take action. Whether it's through prayer, asking God for guidance, or reaching out to someone you trust, don't hesitate to express what you need. You might be surprised by the warmth and compassion that awaits you when you open up about your struggles. Consider journaling your thoughts as well. Write down your feelings and identify specific areas where you need help. This practice can clarify your thoughts and prepare you for meaningful conversations with those who care about you. Remember Bartimaeus, who boldly cried out for mercy despite the crowd trying to silence him. His faith was rewarded with healing, a beautiful reminder that our requests matter and can lead to transformation. As we embrace Jesus' invitation today, let us commit ourselves to asking for what we truly need. By doing so, we not only honor our own journey but also give others the opportunity to show their love and support. So as you move forward from this moment, take that leap of faith. Reach out, ask for help, and allow yourself to experience the beauty of authentic connections. You are worthy of love and support. Embrace this truth and watch how it transforms your life in ways you never imagined possible.